guys, so story time on how I got caught sneaking out. Okay, can you guys like please listen to this video and like tell me if there's a way to get out of this, because okay, so I did not get caught like secret cameras, my mom watching me walk out the door, anything like that. It was literally from a guy. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you the whole story. Okay, so about a week ago I snuck out with these guys. It was a little two-man and I was like, hey, like this is like really fun, like you guys are like actually really funny, like I like hanging out with y'all. So they text us and they're like, hey, do you want to hang out tonight? And it's me and my best friend. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. My best friend was really cute, so I was like, I'll go for her. Like, mine was okay. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't ugly, but you know. So we get there. We're up in my guy's bedroom, and so we're just laying there, and I'm like, I have to go use the bathroom. And so he's like, okay. So he brings me downstairs, and there's an empty bedroom. So after I get done doing my business, I walk out, and he's like, hey, Key, come in here. And so I'm like, okay. So I walk in there and we're just laying there, we're kissing. And so he tries to start doing stuff with me. And I'm like, heck no, 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 no. So he gets mad, he picks his pants back up off the floor, and he goes, well, obviously we're not compatible. Obviously, like, I'm sorry that I busted your bubble, but no thank you. Okay, so whatever, homeboy's like really mad at me. He takes me to the living room, we sit there. My best friend's upstairs doing whatever the Lord she wants to do. So me and him are just sitting there. We've been sitting there for like a minute, and he gets up, and I thought he goes to the bathroom. So my phone's like 5%. I'm sitting there, I'm listening. The TV's not on, it's literally just me. My phone's on 5%. Like, I'm not gonna sit here on my phone because, you know. I hear a fucking TV playing. Hello? You've got to be kidding me. Whatever, so I'm looking around, trying to find me a charger, because if he's sitting there watching the TV, then there's no telling when I'm gonna get to go home. So finally, I find me a charger. I plug that bad boy up, and so I'm sitting there, and it's been about maybe like 10 minutes. He like walks by me, goes to the kitchen, gets a drink, literally like stares at me in my eyes and does not say a word. Like, am I invisible? What the fuck? I was so mad. Like I could... Okay, so I'm sitting there by myself, and this guy sends me a picture. And, like, I've not talked to him since January, and he sends me a picture, and it says, where the fuck are you at? Oh. Because I didn't turn off my location on Snapchat. So, anyways, so I'm like, oh, I'm at my best friend's house, like, whatever. And he's like, okay, whatever. Ooh, that doesn't good. Anyways, so finally I get to go home. Yay! And so I'm laying in my bed, and he sends me a screenshot of where I'm at now. And he said, so I'm gonna ask you one more time, where the fuck was you at? And I was like, at my best friend's house. And he goes, why the fuck were you at your best friend's house for 3 hours and then you went right back home? So you're stalking my location and we don't even talk? Whatever, I was pissed. That's like so weird. Get a life, dude. Leave me alone. So he goes, I'm pretty sure I knew what you were doing. So either you're going to tell me or I'm going to send this to your mom and dad and tell you what I think. And it was not a threat, I fear. It was a promise. So I'm like, oh shit. And so I'm like, literally, please do not actually, like, you will ruin my whole life. And he goes, well, that's what needs to happen to you. Hello? Who do you think you're talking to like that? Hello? So, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sneaking into my mama's room, and I go in there, and I'm, like, looking for her phone to delete the damn thing. And so, I'm like, I wake her up. I'm like, oh, shit. So, I fell off a scooter, like, a week ago, and I was like, Mom, I need to find this, like, stuff that we put on my leg. And I was like, it's not in my room. I don't know where it's at. So I get her phone, and I'm like, can I use your flashlight? And she's like, yes, sure. So she gives me her phone, and I turn on the flashlight, and I'm, like, looking for this guy. And so I block him, okay? So she's awake, and so I go back in there, and I'm like, I had the things in my hand, but she was awake when I went back in there. I was like, oh, shoot, Mom, sorry. I was just bringing these back in here. Like, I don't want to keep them in my room because... And she's like, Keely, it does not need to be brought back in here. Bring it back in here in the morning. So I leave, and she texts me, and she goes, Keely, what are you doing up? And I was like, my leg just hurts so bad, Mom. Like, what about that one stuff that dad always has us put on us? I think that's going to help me, Mom. Let me come in there and get it. And she's like, okay. So I walk in there, and she, like, gets her phone. Like, okay, say this is her phone, and this is me. She follows me around the room with it. So I can't grab my dad's phone, right? Okay, so I grab it. I come back to bed, and I'm like, do I just wait until he wakes up and goes in there and, like, just delete it and, like, block him or whatever? Whatever. So I ended up going to sleep, and I fell asleep past that. Whew. So I wake up at like 8 o'clock, and my mom's going to my dad's work, and I'm like, this is my time to go. I'm going to get his phone while he's at work, and I'm just going to delete it because, you know. So me and my best friend are running off like an hour of sleep, and we're at his work. His phone's on his fucking side. So that literally did not help me at all. Anyways, so I think I'm good with my mom. Like, I think I'm off the hook. Like, he's supposed to be blocked on her phone. And my sister's like, hey, Mom, look at this reel that I sent you on Facebook. And I was like, he's blocked. Like, I'm not even worried about it. I'm not. Hi, I know you don't know who I am, but your daughter's been sneaking out to go on a 2-man, and I have proof if you want to see it. He made a fake account to text her. What is wrong with you? And so I'm texting him, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you know how much trouble I'm about to be in. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm sorry. I just wanted you back. That's not getting me back. That is not getting me back. That is fucking proving my point why we stopped talking in the damn first place. You're fucking crazy. Anyways, so he's, like, telling her how he has proof. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Because he has the screenshots. And so my mom's like, she texts me and she's like, hey, Keely, like, if this guy sends me proof, then I'm showing your dad you're in trouble. Like, I'm not doing this anymore with you. Like, I'm done. So I call him and I'm like, listen here, dude, you are not going to send her that. I will literally start talking to you again if you do not send her that. And so he's like, okay, so he blocks her and my dad, thank God, off this fake account that he made. And then my mom texts me, and my Life 360 said, arrived home at, I think it was like 4:48 or something. And I was like, oh, shit. Because, like, I deleted Life 360, so never, ever, ever, ever delete Life 360 if you're sneaking out. Do not do that. Find another way. And so, my sister deleted it off my dad's phone. Thank God for her. But if anyone has, like, a way to get out of this, please let me know, because I literally don't know what to do anymore. Yeah, that's literally how I got caught sneaking out. So do not talk to crazy guys if this is what this story time taught you, because what's wrong with you? Like, actually.
If breaking up with your partner breaks your trust in other people, you never were actually in love with your partner. That is attachment.
This is why I really don't go to parties in the first place. This is why I stay my black ass home. So it's my homeboy 21st birthday. Okay, cool. Big 21, you get to drink or whatever. Not like you ain't been doing that since you was 15, but all right. Airbnb is 3 stories, right? But everybody hang out in cliques because there's so many people there, right? So it's me and my best friend, and then my homeboy is my boy best friend at the time. So it's him and all his people. But me and my girl best friend are sticking together because we don't know these folk like that. You know what I mean? I'm just here to support the big home. He has one girl there that he really wanted. And they talk every day. She be at his house. So I thought that was cool, right? So at one point in the night, shit started getting spooky because we're going to call her Latina Mami, okay? Latina Mami comes up the stairs crying, hysterically, saying somebody touched her. And my ears immediately perk up because I don't get down like that. I'm ready to call the cops now. We stand up and we go to her so we can listen to what she's talking about. She says they were all in a car, everybody was making out, and then somebody touched her private part. And we like, oh, fuck no. I'm listening to her. I'm trying to listen to her as best as I can. My homeboy comes up the stairs. And he looks me dead in my eyes and said, Esther, come here. I go, hold on. I'm trying to listen to this. He goes, Esther, no, you need to come here right now. And I'm like, right now? But the urgency in his voice made me scared. And then he lost patience and grabbed me down. He pulled me down the stairs, pulled me outside. And I'm like, what's going on? Who touched that girl? You was with her? And then it was him and his best friend were outside. I'm like, what happened? He goes, Esther. He literally grabs my face. He goes, Esther, you have to believe me. I didn't touch her. And I was like, His best friend is like, oh, Esther, I was there. I saw everything. I witnessed everything. Everybody was touching on each other in the car. Like, XYZ. And I'm like, why y'all niggas moving so, like, the way they came about it kind of just made me suspicious and I couldn't say anything. Why would she have ran into the house to her best friend, which is the only person she really knew there besides him? Why would she come upstairs so hysterical if y'all didn't do nothing to her? Especially because she's drunk. And then why y'all so eager to get me out of there when I'm listening to her story to tell me y'all side first? It just didn't seem right. So I was just looking at him. I didn't know what to say. The boys kept wanting to talk to her by herself. And I'm like, why y'all want to talk to her by herself? She already said her story. It gave weird. Like, it gave, shut up, don't tell nobody. You know what I mean? So by the end of the night, her story changed. She said she didn't get touched and she was fucking another nigga. So when situations get sticky like that and stories change, it gets spooky. Because who do I believe? Were you really lying? Are you pressured to be telling a lie? Months later, I think 2 other girls came out with the same allegations and he had something to do with it. I think my homeboy was in there really touching girls and the boys was trying to cover for him. Needless to say, me and that boy are not friends no more.
Les voy a decir una cosa. Estuve a esto de encontrarme con Cristo. Estuve a esto de irme al más allá. Modo chisme o storytime. Figurense acontece que eran como las 10 de la noche. Eso me acaba de pasar hace nada. Yo acabo de llegar para contar esta experiencia cercana con la trucutruc. Yo estaba paseando a mi hijo, a mi bebé, a mi cosita. Lo fui a pasear para que lo conociera mi prima porque lo quería ver. Resulta, pasa y acontece que cuando yo me estaba devolviendo para mi casa, yo estaba en un semáforo y estaba en rojo. Miren, no había un alma, no había un peo, no había ni la llorona. Estaba ahí, estaba eso solo. Mira, eso parecía el apocalipsis. Bueno, mami, pero yo respeto las señales de tránsito. Yo estaba manejando, claro. Yo tengo 19, ya tengo pase, tengo everything. Don't worry. Ey, pelados, yo estaba ahí esperando mi semaforito en rojo y de repente se me pone un carro atrás. Y yo, ay, bueno, hay que tener cuidado porque era una subidita. Entonces, que no se me vaya y el carro para atrás y un tremendo carro, caro y trucululu, ¿cómo lo pago? Mira, madre, el semáforo se puso en verde. Y yo arranqué normal. Iba bien, iba normal, lento porque estaba solo toda esa vaina. Fíjense y acontece que yo estaba viendo por el retrovisor que el carro blanco no me golpeara. Yo tenía una sensación rara. Ay, madre, de repente yo escucho el pito de una moto. ¡Pi! Uy, ese bendito pito. Yo me odio ese sonidito de la moto. Ay, porque es que me estresa, me desespera. Yo siento que le hice algo mototaxi cuando suena esa vaina. Entonces, claro, yo como les tengo tanta vaina, estoy psicoseada, yo medio frené. Ay, mami, cuando yo medio frené. Ay, Dios mío, yo vi a Cristo. Mira, mami. ¡Hum! Y yo, ay, Dios mío. Había pasado una ambulancia zumba. Mira, se voló todos los semáforos, claro, porque es una ambulancia y te tiene que volar esa vaina. Porque era una emergencia, ¿cierto? Ay, mira, si ese mototaxi no me dice ¡pi! La ambulancia, en vez de ir a recoger a alguien, me hubiera cogido y me hubiera llevado al hospital a mí. Ay, no, santa la barbarita, pero es que esa vaina no se vio. Mira, no tenía ni las luces prendidas. O sea, tenía como el fuego malo, lo tenía como dañado, estaba apenas en rojo. Mira, ¿qué le costaba a esa bendita ambulancia poner wiu, para uno saber? Porque es que, ¿qué tal que yo fuera daltónica y no veo la luz? ¿Qué tal que no las vea? Por lo menos me hubiera avisado. Ay, no, pela, yo siento que viajes tú. Mira, a mí me dio un bajón que me recogió de aquí hasta acá. Y yo, ay, santa la barbarita de Calcota. Ay, no, marica, yo en serio, yo reflexioné mi día. Yo dije, Señor Padre, si eres tú, me has mandado un ángel en mototaxi. Gracias, de ahora en adelante voy a valorar más a los mototaxis. Por mucho que yo peleé con ellos, hoy un mototaxi me salvó la vida. Es que, gente, uno cuando tiene estos acercamientos con la trucu, uno se pone a reflexionar, uno se pone a pensar. Marica, lo que me da rabia es que yo iba a concentrar, sino que esa vaina no tenía esa luz, se prendía y no hizo no hizo nada. Yo cómo iba a saber, eso era una ambulancia fantasma.
The reason most couples argue is because you guys are both making your own assumptions about what the other person's thinking, their intentions. Oh, you probably did this because you didn't care about me. I'm gonna be honest, that's very unreasonable. Assuming that your partner has malicious motives to hurt your heart sounds like the perfect formula for you to continue your avoidant behavior, for you to choose to protect yourself, defend yourself, not be a part of this relationship.
Okay, guys, like, I have the craziest friendship experience story time that I just, like, have been holding for years, and it just came to my attention that this is, like, happening to more people from these people. So now I'm just like, okay, it's my time. I'm obviously not going to say names or anything. I'm just going to call them thing 1, thing 2. They're twin sisters. That's pretty much all you need to know to put the pieces together here. But, like, have you guys been friends with, like, people that just, like, lie about, like, anything and everything? Well, yeah, like, now take that, times it by 1,000,000. Like, think, like, pretends they have cancer level. Yeah. And, like, I'm not gonna talk about, like, other people's experiences necessarily, but, like, let's just say, like, they've done things like this before. And there's so many red flags, and honestly, I feel, like, so stupid because I was just trying to see the good in them. Like, they seemed like super nice people when I met them, and I just should have known. Like, Anyways, so it started off with them, like, lying about, like, random stuff. Like, they graduated early. They went to, like, McGill, and their mom is, like, the head of cancer care, and this, and that. Like, all these things that are easy enough to fact check and, like, see that that is not true, obviously. But this is where it really happened. And became, like, personal. And actually affected me emotionally. So we booked a trip to Calgary Stampede. We'd only been friends for probably, like, 2 or 3 months at this point. But we're like, like, they're down for things. I'm down for things. Like, let's book this trip. And there's 5 of us going, so it's me, my friend, them 2, and their friend. And, like, the hard part about it is because, like, unless you experienced it personally, like, you will never understand this truly. But now that I know other people have experienced it, like, firsthand, it, like, makes me feel like I can actually share this and not feel, like, crazy. So, pretty much the very first night that we get to Stampede, one of them is in the room with us, one of them is in a different room getting ready. And the one in the room with us just starts crying and saying how she, like, pretty much is gonna die, and she has lung cancer and is on a lung transplant list, and that she's been in and out of the hospital for the last, like, month or something without us knowing. And, like, first of all, these girls are the biggest attention seekers ever. If there was actually something happening where they had to go to the hospital, they would be telling everybody and anybody about it. So I already know this isn't true. Plus, if you're on a lung transplant list, you are not at Calgary Stampede drinking and partying. Never mind, like, smoking or, like, anything like that. So, anyways, I'm not believing it. My friend's not believing it. We're kind of, like, laughing about it because, like, not to be mean or anything, but we're just like, we don't believe you. A little background where how this makes this personal to me. This summer, my grandpa had actually been dying of cancer the entire summer and passed away actually a month after this happened. But yeah, I was watching him die all summer. So, like, talking about cancer and, like, making, like, a lie about it is just something that's so wrong in so many ways, but it was just especially personal to me. And my other grandpa died when I was younger from lung cancer, and we found out he had lung cancer because he collapsed. And so I kind of bring this up. I'm like, girl, like, you don't have lung cancer. You're definitely not on a lung transplant list because, like, if you actually did, you wouldn't be here, and, like, you wouldn't be able to party because, like, my grandpa collapsed when he had lung cancer because he couldn't breathe, this, and that. So keep in mind that I did share this story with them. So I couldn't be around them anymore, so I let, like, thing 1 go out alone, and thing 2 stayed with us, and me and my friend were kind of, like, talking to her, like, girl, like, is this for real? Because, like, there's always 2 of them together. We rarely have one of them separate. And she's kind of, like, telling us, like, yeah, she, like, kind of lies a lot, and, like, she is, like, kind of a problem, and she, like, hurts a lot of our friendship. And so her own sister is telling us, like, this girl does lie, like, and I just get dragged into it. And then later that night, we get a call from the friend that went with thing 1, and it was like, guys, you have to come to the staircase right now. There's, like, an emergency. We run into the staircase, and there is thing 1 laid out, passed out, in the stairwell, pretending that she's unconscious. And I asked the friend, like, how much did she have to drink? Because, like, that was, like, where my mind went first, was, like, oh, maybe she drank too much, and this is, like, whatever. But she's like, she didn't really drink much. So I'm like, okay, like, maybe she got roofied or something. So regardless, I was like, we're going to call 911, okay? So I'm like, boop, boop, okay, I'm calling. And then she, like, magically awakens, and it's like, oh, I'm alive. Super dramatic, may I add. And she's like, my lung, like, I need my medicine. And her sister goes and grabs the bronchitis puffer that they had from when they had bronchitis, like, a week earlier, that they were still both having. Like, they were both coughing, like, weird, which they were trying to play it off as, like, the lung cancer, but it was because they have bronchitis. Anyways, so then I, like, put all of the pieces together, and I was like, oh my god, she's trying to pretend, like, to pass out to try and make this more believable, that, like, because this is what happened to my grandpa when he found out he had lung cancer. And that's when I was like, these people are evil. Okay, well, safe to say I was not friends with them after that experience, and they kind of apologized after for other things, but not for that specific thing. But yeah, the rest of Stampede was horrible. It was just not good. To this day, it was, like, the biggest waste of my money and time that I've ever had in my life. But whatever. So I got back home, and I wrote out this entire notes thing, which I'm sure I could probably find somewhere still. It had all the receipts of, like, everything, all their lies, everything they've ever said, like, everything. And at the end, because I was like, okay, I honestly think that someone should just tell them these things, because if I was this psychotic and delusional, I would want someone to just tell me. And at the very end, I said, if I hear anything about me come out of your mouths, I will make sure this is, like, spread around. Like, people will hear about this. And the only reason I said that is because every close friend they've ever had in the past, they have spread the craziest, weirdest, like, actually horrible lies about. Like, very controversial. Which I'm not going to get into, and, like, that, I respect those people a lot because they really went through it. And obviously all that part of it was taken out if I were to share it with anybody. But whatever, I sent it to them, never heard anything back again. Honestly, never really saw them again. A week later, I hear, oh, actually, we stopped being friends with her because she just got super jealous of us at Stampede because we're getting all the male attention over her. And I just, like, couldn't help but laugh because I was like, you couldn't have thought of anything else, like, anything, like, maybe believable. So after that, I was like, you know what? Screw it. And I, like, made a private story with a bunch of, like, my close girlfriends. And I was like, here you go, guys. Eat this up. And honestly, it was, like, a PSA to, like, my close friends. Like, do not fall for this trap of a friendship because it's not worth it. Well, last weekend, it's been, like, years. And I'm, like, completely over it now. But these two people came up and they're like, hey, so you're friends with the twins, right? And I was like, I haven't heard this in forever. But I was like, yeah, actually, I was. They're like, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to us. And I was like, baby girl, let me believe you. Whatever you say, I already believe you. And almost word for word, what they did to me, they did to them. Including, like, pretending cancer. Like, I don't think they had it this time, but, like, their mom did or something. Just bizarre. Like, crazy. So, needless to say, we're gonna start, like, a little trauma support group over this because, seriously, like, this is nuts. But yeah, if this also happened to you, like, let's all be friends and let's get drinks and talk about this because what the heck. Anyways, peace and love, guys. That's just, like, I can't believe I'm bringing this up after all this time. But, like, I actually just, like, I think it's the funniest thing. They've not learned their lesson at all. So, whatever. Bye.